Hey guys, it's Alex, and here at Power by the Hour again. And today I'd like to talk about the 2018 Mustang and how popular it has become. People are dumping their cars, people are buying them to be kind of with the in crowd so they don't feel like they're, I don't know, driving an old 3-valve. I mean, the 11 to 14 Mustang, unfortunately, it tugs at my heartstrings, but it is technically a 3-valve right now. It's old, it's clapped out, everyone has done everything to them, every cold air on the planet has been installed in them, and they're starting to show their age. So people are jumping ship to the 18. Things like this, beautiful cars like this, this car from Modified Mustang, it's really hard not to see the appeal of these cars. They're very, very appealing. But a car like this is going to run you close to $50,000 because it's a highly optioned performance package automatic 10-speed car. A lot of you guys out there are saying, well, yeah, that's the one to get. Look around, guys, there are TSBs for the 10-speed also, but let's just stay on topic. These cars are beautiful, highly optioned, and will do really well for you. You know, they're really pretty. This one's insanely highly optioned, and you know, it's gonna run you a good chunk of change. But how much power can you make with one of these? And are you willing to go through the trials and tribulations of making it fast? If you're not, these guys are still available, still affordable, still pretty darn new, and you can get them at a bargain price. This car right here is a great example of a Mustang you can pick up at a reasonable price and have insane performance. So let's kind of go through why I think this is an excellent bang for the buck right now with the 2018 Mustang that is pretty much taking over the whole Mustang community. So this is a 2015 Mustang. I love the silver color. A lot of people are going to say, I'm not sure about the stripes. Don't worry, guys, they're vinyl, they can be taken right off. This car sits on a set of Steeda Sport springs. It is performance package manual MT82 Mustang, and the funny thing is these manuals, at least the shift forks, have been proven to be stronger. These guys have been, you know, in the 9s, no problem. Some of them have broken, of course, and some haven't. But this car, instead of getting yourself a 2018 Mustang, why not pick up a car that's built like this? Now you're going to say to yourself, well, what's so special about this car? Let's take a look. Aside from the already upgraded suspension, I think this car has Steeda everything. It has kind of a rare interior, a rare color interior that you don't really see that often. Well, you know, one of the guys here at Power by the Hour calls it the tan gut. I like to call it the peanut butter interior. It's a beautiful car. It smells new. It's a 2015, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has like no miles. Let me just make sure. Let's take a look how many miles this guy has. 11,290 miles. Let's turn it on because it is a manual. It sounds really good. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a remote here. I think he has variable exhaust. Let's see how that goes. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see if the A does anything. No, that doesn't do anything. Let's try B. Let me get back there and take a look and see what's going on instead of guessing. Alright, so this is like an X-Force exhaust. It says X-Force right on it. Let me hit the A. Nothing. B. Nothing. So who knows? Maybe the battery's dead in this thing. I have no idea. But I did one of these before, a Hellion turbo car. You see a little flap inside? That little guy is supposed to open and close on demand. He might have a dead battery, so right now it's in the open position. So take my word for it, guys. If the battery's working, you can actually tame down the note of the exhaust just by the push of a button. And this smells sweet. Why does it smell sweet? Because it's on E85. This car has a complete 4 Innovations fuel system on E85 with, I believe, ID1000s or ID1050Xs. Why does he have all that going on? Because it has a Whipple supercharger. This one has a 3.5-inch pulley. This car's making well north of 700 rear wheel horsepower. Now, we were talking earlier about how much fun it is to have a 450 rear wheel horsepower car on the street manual. Well, imagine what it's going to feel like having almost double that. 700 plus rear wheel horsepower manual car, and this will beat up on most 18s out there that haven't really had the chance to catch up in terms of modifications. And even after the 18s are modded, unless they're max effort cars, they're really not going to hang with cars like this. The 2015 Mustang is still really stout. The Gen 2 engine has been known to keep up to upper 800 rear wheel horsepower. There have been a couple of people that have set records. I think VMP made 1,000 rear wheel horsepower with their VMP Gen 3 track attack car. So we know the internals can take it for a little while, but I'm telling you guys, for bang for the buck, this is right now, this is the bargain deal to get. You can wait a little bit, get yourself a 2010 GT500, very nice. This car has a 2.9 Whipple, but it makes about 600 rear wheel horsepower, and it's just, honestly, it drives and runs and drives really good. It feels really nice, but it pales in comparison to how this guy drives, the technology, the feel, and the ride. This car is sporting a set of Nitto NT05R tires on a set of American Muscle replica 20 by 10 inch performance package repops basically, and the fronts are stock, but he has a little spacer so they can look hella flush. So let's get in it and drive it. And I was in this car kind of admiring it. By the way guys, this is a performance package car. If you have a Mustang and we ask you if it is EOP1 or EOP2, EOP means engine oil pressure. EOP1, you do not have this gauge set up on your dash. EOP2, you do. So when you look at your dash and you wonder whether your car is EOP1 or EOP2, this car is an EOP2. If it doesn't have this, it's an EOP1 car. But let's get back to the business at hand. After I got in this car, I started looking around. Check this out. This guy has an auto blip box. I have heard about these. I think they're actually pretty cool. Now that everyone knows that the not everyone, but if you didn't know, the 2019 Mustang GT, they've just introduced downshift rev matching. What does that mean? That means when you clutch in and you're, let's see if you're going fifth gear and you clutch in to go to fourth, the car will blip the throttle on its own. It'll go wah on its own, and you don't really have to do downshift rev match. It's not as fun for heel to toe driving like you pros out there, but I think it's a cool feature that I first saw in the Corvette Z06. But let's try this car, see how everything works, see how it feels, and I'll give you my impressions. Let's get some AC in this. So I guess it's hot today. It's 97 according to the center display there. But whoever sat in it last time is about my height. It has, I believe, an MGW shifter. Now, you know, my preference is a Barton, basically based on the gate. But it's a nice shifter, the MGW piece, and it feels pretty good. I'm not really going to complain too much. I'll have the window down just so you can hear the exhaust. The auto blip right now is off, so what I'll do is I'll just drive around, get you my impressions, then I'll try the auto blip and you guys can hear it with me, see how it goes. So this car is tuned by Lund Racing, of course. It was one of the first cars that was really vetted with the Whipple 132mm throttle calibration, all done by John Lund Jr. He likes a bit of a longer linear pedal, and I tend to agree with him, especially on a car like this that makes well over 700 rear wheel horsepower. I'll try to find the graph and tell you exactly how much power this car makes. It's on E85. I don't know what a 3.5 pulley is. What's that, like 15, 16 pounds of boost, maybe a little more, on a 2.9 liter head unit. So it's definitely making some steam. I gotta really go slow here. I don't want to scrape anything because this car's low on these Steeda springs. But with the 19-inch rubber, it didn't rub that much. That throttle's really nice and it sounds really good. 373s, which is a little aggressive in my opinion for a boosted car making the power this one does. But the throttle, because it's linear and slightly on the longer side, you don't really feel a difference. You don't feel like you're out of control or anything. Let me turn on the auto blip, see if we can get it to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clutch in and go to fourth gear, and I'll see if it blips the throttle. Oh, you gotta hit the brake at the same time. Let me do that. Brake and then clutch in. Look at that. Oh wow, that's really cool. It blips the throttle for you as you're downshifting, but you have to hit the brake. If you're downshifting and not hitting the brake and you're just clutching in, it won't blip the throttle because there are three little LEDs, for lack of a better words, indicator lights that tell you if the brake is applied or not. Very cool. This car feels really nice. 373s at this much power, it's a little silly and dangerous. I'm not even going to go half throttle. brake and just downshift and see if it blips multiple times like the Corvette Z06 does. Both windows down. Let's see what it does. No, it blips it once. So let me accelerate, brake and clutch. Look at that, it blips the throttle. I miss a manual, man. I'm telling you, I love my red car. It's great. But one thing it is insanely boring. The car makes over 900 rear wheel horsepower, and I'm telling you, unless you're in a straight line, it's not fun. This thing can turn, this thing can do a little bit of everything. Even though it makes a little much horsepower for the gear ratio, you can have a lot of fun as long as you're not an idiot. With the windows up, it sounds good too. I can't really slam on the gas because I have a tendency of breaking shit, and the last thing I need to do is break a customer's car on camera, because you know that video will never make it to the light of day, ever. Let's do some downshift rev matching, see how that works. Very good. Oh, that's cool. It actually works pretty good. It blips the throttle quick enough that you can catch the next gear, but you got to be kind of on the quicker side. It even it downshift rev match first gear. Go up against the wall so you can hear it. Gets it. We're gonna downshift rev match. That can be addicting. Now I understand why Ford introduced it in the 2019 Mustang, the downshift rev matching. But there is a bit of a dance you have to kind of do with the brake and the feet. Once you get used to it, I'm sure you'll like it. So that is called the Auto Blip. I showed you guys what it looks like. It's pretty neat. I'm sure you can actually adjust the duration and the delay of the Auto Blip box. I actually was just wanting to show you this car, but it seems to be like this video is showing the Auto Blip feature. Now I will not adjust it. This is all adjusted based to what the owner likes, so I'm not touching it. I'm just going to get used to how it's set up, give you some sound clips, let you know that bargain cars are out there like this. I'm saying, what else is there to do to this car? It's got a full deal fuel system from 4 Innovations, ID 1000s or 1050Xs. It's got a blower, it's got a clutch, it's got a shifter, springs, all the Steeda stuff. It's got a really beautiful interior. I like the peanut butter gut. The only thing this car needs to be completely done is probably a Ben Calmer Stage 3 with G-force gears and a built motor. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but you don't need that to have a bunch of fun with this car. This car makes 700 wheel, and you could live like this for a long time, unless you're one of those guys that wants to compete on the internet, have the highest horsepower this, highest horsepower that. This car is just right. This car is just right. Just driving nice and easy. It's not bucking, doing anything weird. Whipple and the big throttle body has had, you know, some people have had issues calibrating it in terms of drivability. I understand. You guys are going to say, oh, you work for Lund, you're just talking all bunch of shit. You know, if it drove bad, would you say so? Absolutely. And they know that. They know that I'm not out there to kiss anyone's ass. If I think it drives crappy, I'll let them know, hey guys, this drives crappy, let's fix it. But this drives very well. I like it very much. Auto Blip, huh? Now, if the 2019 Mustang truly has real deal downshift rev matching, and I cannot get that calibration brought over to the 2018, I'll sure as hell look into this Auto Blip box, because it makes driving a whole bunch of fun and it sounds great. This car sounds real good when you crack on the throttle real quick. So let's start talking turkey. Let's start talking about what it costs. Oh, I love that downshift rev matching. Let's talk about what it costs to duplicate this car. A 2015 Mustang with, I don't know, 11,000 miles, complete Steeda suspension, a Whipple Stage 2 supercharger system, 3.5-inch pulley, 4 Innovations fuel system, ID 1050Xs, the installation, the tuning, all that stuff. And this is a premium Mustang. This isn't some base package car. What does it cost to duplicate this car, and would you pay for it? Now, a lot of you guys are out there paying $40,000 for bone stock automatic 10-speed Mustangs that go 1180s and on pump gas, and that's it. Okay, it's impressive and they look great and the technology is awesome. But would you pay $40,000 for this car? Would you pay, let's say, what's a base 2015? Actually, let's say what's a premium 2015 goes for nowadays? 27, 28? Let's say you're at $28,000. Then you buy a $7,500 Whipple kit, or you buy a used kit for $6,000. That's $31,000. Then you buy a 4 Innovations fuel system. Then you buy ID1000s, ID1050Xs. Then you tune it, have it all installed. You don't think this car is worth $40,000? It is worth it all freaking day. I would pay up to $40,000. Hell, I paid close to $30-something thousand for a bone stock 2018 manual. I wouldn't have minded bumping up my price range for another $7,000 or $8,000 for a pretty much full done deal. Something like this. I think it's something it's worth the money. I totally think it's worth the money to ask high 30s, low 40s for a car like this with the upgraded interior, the peanut butter seats. And a lot of people are on the fence about these seats. I'm not. I love them. I think it looks cool. And later on in the future, they'll be bragging about these seats. Like Fox Body guys brag about the gray tweed seats or the Cobra style seats. All that crap that didn't matter back in the day, but all of a sudden, now it matters. I'm just gonna enjoy the drive. I love this, man. I love a manual, man. Nothing beats a manual. Nothing beats a manual that makes the power this makes. The suspension is nice and tight. It's not rattly or anything like that. Looking at it from the outside, you're like, damn, this bitch is low. But I think it's fine. I'm going to take a turn up here semi-aggressively and see how it handles it with this much power. Hopefully I won't put it in the ditch. I won't. Relax. I'm not stupid. I'm going to make sure that it's good, but I'll let you hear the car. Flips the throttle just right. Gotta goose it under a tunnel. Can't be no bitching, not goose it under a tunnel. Hell, Harley guys do it, why can't I? Reminds me of that South Park episode where they make fun of Harley owners. Man, this is a nice car. It's done. I mean, what else are you going to do to this car except more boost? You're not going to drag race this car. It's, in my opinion, not built for that. It's built for some hooning, some semi-aggressive street driving, and it's perfect for it. Low, tight, looks great. Yeah. You know when you want to go fast, all of a sudden it's a shitload of traffic in front of you? That's what I'm experiencing right now. I want to goose it a little bit, get in front of this Lancer Evo piece of shit, and I can't. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's the universe telling me not to beat on cars that aren't mine. But I really wanted to showcase cars like this that people are getting rid of because they want to be into the new stuff. And they're going to get rid of a really nice car, well built, and the next guy is going to benefit from it big time, save about $10,000 in the total bill. Downshift ref match time. That's enough of this shit. Oh man, I hate a seatbelt. Fuck all that. That'll work. I gotta stop. I'm sure all the cops around West Palm are probably looking for some asshole in a gray Mustang. So for a lot of the guys out there that want to be part of the next big thing, they want to be part of the crew, part of the clique, and get the newest, nicest, biggest next thing with the 18 Mustang, take a look at what's out there with the 2015 to 17 Mustangs. The parts have been proven, the calibration is on point. You know what the weak points are. It's the devil you know. And cars like this can be had for high 30s, low 40s all day, just like this one. This one is actually for sale. I actually just found out. I wanted to make a video on it, and they said, by the way, you know that's for sale. I'm like, who knew? I just like a manual 700 plus horsepower car. I wanted to drive it, have some fun, and they let me have at it, and they informed me it was for sale. I probably should have waited, because I could have had myself this car for about the same price that I picked up my stock 2018 Mustang. So do your shopping, guys. Cars like this are popping up everywhere. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.